Welcome to our deep dive. And this time we're getting into happy economics.
Happy economics.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
how happy employees can actually make or break a business.
Yeah.
You've given us a ton of material for this one.
Mm,
We've got excerpts from Mark Price's book, Happy Economics,
Great, but
some thoughts from the CIPD's CEO, a university professor, even a global business consultant.
wow, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and figure out, why happy employees are so important for a company.
Right.
How that can actually translate into some actual results.
Yeah, it's not just like a feel-good thing.
Right.
It's really impacts the bottom line.
Yeah, for sure.
We're also going to look at some practical stuff.
Okay.
Like, how do you measure happiness?
Yeah. How do you even quantify that?
Exactly. And then what can you do to improve well-being in the workplace?
Okay.
We'll even touch on how to fix a toxic work culture.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it can be, but it's possible. And we'll, see how important good leadership is in all of this.
Yeah, leadership is key for sure.
And how focusing on employees, benefits everyone, not just the company.
Right, like society as a whole.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Mark Price, he talks about his time at Waitrose in the book.
Okay.
And he basically saw firsthand how investing in employee happiness
Wow.
completely transformed this struggling supermarket chain
Wow.
into one of the most profitable in Europe.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so they went from a staff turnover rate of 70%
70%.
down to just 18%.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
So what do you think was the main thing that led to that turnaround?
Well, the waitress example is a perfect illustration of the power of human capital.
Okay.
It's basically seeing your employees as valuable assets.
Okay.
Like an investment,
Right.
When your people feel valued, appreciated, and happy, they're going to be more engaged, more productive, and they're not going to want to leave.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
When you enjoy going to work, when you feel like you're part of something meaningful,
Absolutely.
you're just naturally going to put in more effort,
For sure. You take more pride in your work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the work itself. It's the whole environment.
The whole culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of measuring value,
Okay.
how do we actually measure happiness?
Right. It's not something you can just...
Yeah, you can't just put a ruler up to it.
Catch it
That
forever.
can't just be about smiles and good vibes.
Well, it's definitely more than just that.
Right.
It's about really understanding what makes people tick.
Okay.
So Mark Price actually started a company called Work,
Okay.
and it's a platform that actually uses data to measure workplace happiness.
Wow. Okay. So they're really crunching the numbers on this.
Yeah, they are. And they gather information through, employee surveys
Okay.
and use all that data to figure out where things can be improved
Okay.
and even predict who might be thinking of leaving.
Oh, wow.
They can even tailor strategies for, specific teams.
So it's really personalized feedback then.
Exactly. It's not just a one-size-fits-all approach.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So this is taking employee feedback to a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like those suggestion boxes they used to have.
No, not at all.
It's really using data to create a workplace where people actually feel like they matter,
Exactly.
like they're valued.
Yeah, it's about creating a place where people feel fulfilled, not just, a cog in a machine
Right.
where they can actually thrive.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This reminds me of something Mark Price talks about in the book.
Okay, what's that?
He tells this story about a missing green slip.
Missing green slip.
Yeah, it was when he was at John Lewis.
Oh.
And it sounds like a small thing,
Okay.
but it was basically this communication breakdown.
Uh-oh.
And it ended up causing months of frustration for the customer and the employee.
Wow. So a ripple effect from one little thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So what can we learn from that?
Yeah.
What's the takeaway there?
Well, I think it really highlights how crucial clear communication is for any company.
Yeah.
When employees are kept in the loop
Right.
and they understand why decisions are being made, it creates a culture of trust.
Yeah, they feel like they're part of the process,
Exactly.
not just told what to do.
Yeah, it gives everyone the context they need to do their jobs well.
Yeah, and to feel like a valuable part of the team.
Exactly. Instead of feeling like they're, like you said, just a cog in a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to really get the best out of employees, they need to feel empowered, right?
Absolutely.
Like they can actually own their work.
Yeah, take initiative, be creative.
Yeah, exactly. In the book, there's this case study about a finance director
Okay.
who would like micromanage every single decision his team made.
Oh, wow. That sounds stifling.
Yeah, I bet it wasn't a very fun environment.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, like, what are the consequences of that kind of management style?
It's a classic example of how a lack of autonomy can really hurt morale
Okay.
and ultimately productivity.
Right, because people feel like they can't, like, do their job properly.
Exactly. They're constantly second guessing themselves.
Yeah.
They're afraid to take risks.
Yeah.
When you trust your team to do their jobs well and you give them the freedom to make decisions,
Right.
you're basically unlocking their potential.
Yeah, you're letting them actually use their skills.
Exactly. They become more innovative, more engaged. They find more satisfaction in their work.
Have you ever had a boss who micromanaged you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What was that like?
It was not a good experience.
Yeah.
It made me feel like my contributions weren't valued.
Yeah, like your judgment wasn't trusted.
Exactly. And it was incredibly demotivating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we hear so much about, like, younger generations needing more support in the workplace.
Yeah.
But I think this is something that, like, impacts everyone.
You're absolutely right. Everyone needs to feel supported
Right.
to do their best work.
It's not a generational thing.
No, it's a human thing.
Yeah.
Creating a supportive and healthy work environment benefits everyone, no matter their age or experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is where the idea of well-being comes into play,
Okay.
which we'll dig into a little bit later.
So we're already starting to see, like, how all these ideas are connected.
They were all intertwined. It's all part of the big picture.
Okay, so let's keep going with this idea of empowerment.
Okay.
How does this tie into, like, employee pride
Okay.
and ultimately job satisfaction?
Well, think about a time when you finished a project
Okay.
and you felt really proud of the work you did.
Yeah, like you really nailed it.
Exactly. It's that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It is. It's like knowing your work has value, that
Yeah.
you're contributing to something bigger than yourself. Organizations can actually foster that sense of pride
Okay, how do they do that?
by connecting individual contributions to the overall mission
Okay.
and by celebrating those successes, both big and small.
So, like, recognizing people's achievements.
Exactly. Recognizing and appreciating their efforts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's another great example in the book from Waitrose.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They basically empower their cashiers
Okay.
to, like, really interact with customers.
Okay.
And it wasn't just about, like, scanning groceries.
Right.
It was about actually engaging with them.
Yeah.
And it actually, like, boosted employee morale.
That's great.
Yeah.
So happier employees.
Yeah, and it also gave the business really valuable insights.
Oh, interesting. Like what kind of insights?
Like what customers actually wanted, you know?
Oh, wow. So it's like, oh, win-win
Yeah, exactly.
for everyone involved.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
And that's where leadership becomes really crucial.
Oh, absolutely.
Like great leaders, they're the ones who can create a culture of empowerment, of recognition,
Yeah.
and ultimately of happiness, you know?
Yeah, it's about setting the tone
Right.
and creating the right environment.
Yeah.
They understand that a happy and engaged workforce is a productive workforce.
Yeah, it's not just about profits, it's about people.
Exactly, but it's not just about promoting people who are good at their jobs into management positions.
Right.
It takes a specific skill set.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think are some of the key qualities of a great leader? That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll definitely dive deeper into later on.
Okay.
But first, let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about attracting and retaining top talent.
All right. The war for talent.
Yeah, especially in today's job market where
Yeah.
things are changing so fast.
Oh, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's explore that.
Yeah, it seems like finding the right people, like for the right jobs, is more crucial than ever.
Oh, for sure. Especially with like so many people changing jobs these days, even careers.
Yeah.
The whole new world out there.
Remember that story from Mark about the marine biologist working at the fish counter?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember that one.
Like, just because you have the technical skills.
Doesn't mean you're a good fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Companies need to look beyond the resume, you know?
Right.
Consider things like personality, cultural fit,
Yeah.
even like a candidate's potential for happiness.
Right. Like, will they actually enjoy working here?
Exactly, and thrive in that environment.
And speaking of resumes, Mark actually suggests a totally different approach to hiring.
Oh, yeah, the Cultex, right.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about that?
So the Cultex It's like trying to move beyond the traditional CV.
Okay.
It's all about transparency and like finding a good cultural alignment.
So instead of just listing skills and experience,
It's more about showing who you are as a person. Like imagine a Cultex profile that highlights your passion for teamwork
okay.
alongside your coding skills.
So it's like a more well-rounded picture,
Exactly.
not just like a list of bullet points.
Yeah, it helps both employers and job seekers find a better match. You know?
Yeah, like you're actually getting a sense of the person
Exactly.
and what they're all about.
Yeah, and what they're looking for in a workplace.
Okay, so it's a much more like holistic approach to hiring them.
Yeah, it's about finding the right fit for everyone involved.
Okay, so you found the right people.
Yeah.
Now you need to create a work culture where they can actually like thrive.
Absolutely, a positive and inclusive environment.
And that's where leadership really comes into play, right?
Oh, big time.
It's not just about like saying the right things.
It's about actions, about walking the walk.
Yeah, creating a culture where everyone actually feels valued and respected.
Exactly, where their contributions are recognized and appreciated.
Leaders set the tone. Right?
Yeah, they create the environment.
A good leader understands that a happy and engaged workforce.
Is a productive workforce.
Exactly.
They prioritize open communication, empower their teams, and actively work to eliminate toxic behaviors.
Speaking of toxic behaviors,
Yeah.
remember that example from the book about the manager who like bragged about his bonus to his team
Oh, yeah, not a good look.
and they weren't getting one?
Yeah, that's definitely not creating a positive work environment.
Talk about a morale killer.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of what you want to do.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
Leaders need to be mindful of the messages they're sending.
Yeah, even the subtle ones.
Even the little things, right?
Yeah, those can have a big impact.
And, recognizing and rewarding good work is so important.
Oh, absolutely. Recognition is huge.
It shows people that their efforts are actually like seen and appreciated.
It reinforces positive behavior, boosts motivation, makes people feel valued.
And this doesn't have to be like some big elaborate thing.
No, not at all.
It could be a simple thank you, a handwritten note.
Even just acknowledging someone's hard work in a meeting.
Yeah, those little things can go a long way.
It's about acknowledging those everyday efforts, those small wins that contribute to the bigger picture.
And let's be honest,
Sure.
everyone likes a little praise.
Who doesn't?
It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, recognition isn't the only thing that matters.
Right.
Fair compensation is also key.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's essential for employees to feel valued.
Not just with words, but with tangible rewards.
Yeah, like their pay should reflect their contributions.
Exactly.
It's about finding that balance
Mhm.
where compensation aligns with performance, experience, market value.
Nobody wants to feel undervalued or underappreciated.
Yeah, that's a recipe for resentment.
Speaking of feeling undervalued,
Yeah,
we can't overlook the importance of workplace well-being.
that's where things get like really personal.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that employees are more than just workers
They're a human being.
with lives outside of work.
They have families, they have emotions, they have stress,
It's about creating a workplace that supports their whole being,
like their physical health, their mental health.
even their financial well-being.
Mark talks about going beyond just like offering traditional health insurance.
Yeah, things like mental health resources,
Okay,
financial literacy programs, flexible work arrangements.
yeah, those can make a huge difference.
It's about recognizing that a happy and healthy employee is a more productive and engaged employee.
Exactly.
And when companies invest in their employees' well-being,
They're investing in their own success.
precisely.
This brings us back to that point about Gen Z and resilience.
Okay.
Mark argues that everyone, no matter their generation, needs a supportive and healthy work environment to really thrive.
Yeah, we all have our limits.
We're not robots.
It's the responsibility of leaders to create a culture that prioritizes well-being
Okay.
and fosters a sense of psychological safety.
Yeah, like a place where people feel comfortable speaking up and sharing their concerns.
Without fear of judgment or retaliation.
It all goes back to recognizing that employees are human beings.
Not machines.
That brings us to another really crucial aspect of happy economics:
Okay, what's that?
job satisfaction.
Job satisfaction.
Do you love what you do?
It seems like a simple question,
Yeah.
but so many people are unhappy in their work.
And that unhappiness, it spreads.
Yeah, it has a ripple effect.
Low job satisfaction leads to lower productivity.
Higher turnover rates.
Just a general sense of disengagement.
Yeah, people just going through the motions.
Mark suggests that managers should regularly check in with their team members.
Okay.
Not just about their tasks.
What about their overall well-being?
Yeah, and their career aspirations.
Like, what do they want to achieve?
How can they be supported in reaching their goals?
It's about fostering a culture of continuous learning and development.
Right, where people feel challenged and supported.
And inspired to grow.
And when you find that alignment between someone's skills and passions and the company's needs,
That's when the magic happens.
like that sweet spot
Exactly.
where everyone benefits.
It creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
Yeah, work becomes more than just a job.
It becomes something meaningful.
And Mark actually highlights some data from work
Okay.
that shows a direct correlation between job satisfaction and things like lower turnover rates,
Okay.
increased well-being.
So it's not just a feel-good thing.
It's a smart business strategy,
It's about investing in your people.
and ultimately investing in your company's success.
It's critical for attracting and retaining top talent.
And once again, it all comes back to leadership.
Yeah, leadership is key.
Great leaders, they create workplaces where people feel happy,
Fulfill.
empowered to do their best work.
They invest in their employees' well-being, provide opportunities for growth, foster a culture of recognition and appreciation.
They get it.
They understand that the success of the company is directly tied to the happiness and well-being of their people.
It's a powerful message.
Yeah,
It applies to businesses of all sizes and industries.
it's a universal truth.
Okay, so let's talk about some practical strategies
Okay.
that leaders can actually implement to create a more positive and fulfilling work environment.
Mark highlights a few key things.
Okay, like what?
Clear communication, empowerment, and a commitment to addressing toxic behaviors.
Okay, let's break those down a bit further.
Okay, sounds good.
First up, clear communication
It's about being transparent, keeping employees informed.
and providing context for decisions.
Exactly.
So people aren't left wondering, like, why is this happening?
Right. It's about avoiding those frustrating missing green slip situations.
Exactly.
When employees understand the reasoning behind decisions, they're more likely to buy in and feel more engaged and committed.
Okay, next up is empowerment.
Empowerment.
What does that actually look like in a practical sense?
It's about giving employees a sense of ownership over their work,
Okay.
trusting them to do their jobs well, encouraging them to take initiative,
Okay.
giving them the freedom to make decisions.
So like the opposite of that micromanaging finance director?
Exactly. Nobody wants to feel like they're constantly being watched over their shoulder.
Yeah, that just creates anxiety.
When people feel empowered,
They feel trusted.
they're more likely to be creative, innovative, invested in their work.
Okay. And finally, addressing toxic behaviors,
This is a big one.
especially these days.
It's about creating a culture of respect
Okay.
where negativity and harmful behavior are not tolerated,
Right. You need to set clear boundaries.
and where everyone feels safe speaking up.
If they see something that's not right,
Exactly.
it's about making sure everyone feels valued and respected.
No matter their role or background.
Yeah. Everyone deserves to feel safe and respected at work.
It's about creating a workplace that's not only productive, but also enjoyable.
A place where people actually want to be.
Yeah, a place where they can thrive.
And that, I think, brings us to the heart of happy economics. It's about creating a work environment where, everyone benefits.
Yeah, happy employees lead to happy customers,
Right.
happy stakeholders.
And ultimately a happier world, right?
Exactly. It's like a ripple effect that just spreads outward.
And the great thing about happy economics, it's not just for like CEOs or managers.
No, not at all.
It's something we can all participate in.
Absolutely.
We can all make a difference in our own workplaces.
Whether you're leading a team or managing a project or even just, contributing your own individual talent.
It's about taking ownership of your own happiness at work.
And inspiring others to do the same.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into happy economics,
Yeah.
what really stands out to you? What are some key takeaways that you can actually apply in your own work life?
I think for me, it's the importance of just being mindful
Okay.
of the impact we have on others.
Yeah.
Even small gestures can make a big difference.
So what kind of gestures are we talking about?
It could be something as simple as, expressing gratitude to your colleagues or taking the time to really listen to them.
Really hear them.
Yeah, understand their perspective.
Yeah, that's so important.
Maybe you're inspired to advocate for better well-being initiatives at your company
Okay.
or to have an open and honest conversation with your manager about your career goals.
Or even just choosing to focus on the positive.
Yeah, bring a more positive attitude to work.
Yeah, that can be contagious.
It can. It really can.
So it's like we all have the power to create a happier and more fulfilling work experience.
Absolutely.
For ourselves and for those around us.
It's a journey, not a destination.
And every step we take, no matter how small,
Can make a difference.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into happy economics.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
And are feeling inspired to create positive change
In your own workplaces.
and beyond.